Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about something super cool, bringing back animals that went extinct a long time ago, like the woolly mammoth, saber-toothed tiger, and even the dodo. Sounds like a movie, right? But it's real science, and it's happening right now. Let's jump in and see how this is even possible. Welcome to the wild world of de-extinction. Meet Colossal Biosciences, a company on a mission to de-extinct animals. That means bringing back species that have been gone for thousands of years. Founded by tech entrepreneur Ben Lamb and famous geneticist George Church, Colossal is using cutting-edge gene editing tools to bring Ice Age creatures back to life. Extinct versus de-extinct. What's the difference? Extinct means a species has completely died out. No individuals left anywhere. De-extinct means bringing that species back using science and genetics. It's not cloning. It's more like building a new version of that animal using old DNA. Gene editing, the secret weapon? A technology called CRISPR-Cas9. Think of it like molecular scissors. Scientists can cut and edit DNA, the code of life, to add or remove specific genes. It's like editing a document, but instead of words, it's genes. To bring back extinct animals, they edit the DNA of a close living relative to match the extinct species. Here's how it works. Scientists take DNA from extinct animals, like mammoths, found in frozen fossils or museum samples. They compare it to the DNA of their closest living relatives, like the Asian elephant for the mammoth. Then they edit the living animal's DNA using CRISPR to include the extinct animal's traits. The result? A living hybrid that looks and behaves like the long-lost species. It's not cloning, more like building a biological doppelganger. The woolly mammoth was a huge, furry elephant that lived during the Ice Age. It had long, curved tusks and thick hair to stay warm in the freezing cold. These animals lived in cold places like Siberia, Europe, and North America, walking across snowy grasslands called the Mammoth Steppe. They traveled in groups, ate grass and shrubs, and used their tusks to dig through snow for food. When did they go extinct? Most mammoths died out about 10,000 years ago, but a small group survived on an island until around 4,000 years ago. Why did they go extinct? The climate got warmer, their habitat changed, and humans may have hunted them too much. Can we bring them back? Maybe. Scientists are trying to de-extinct the mammoth by using gene editing. They're taking DNA from frozen mammoth remains and combining it with Asian elephants, their closest living relatives. The goal? To create a new kind of elephant that can live in cold places again, and even help fight climate change by restoring the Arctic ecosystem. Meet the Saber-Toothed Tiger, or more accurately, the Smilodon. These fierce predators lived thousands of years ago during the Ice Age. Famous for their long, curved canine teeth, they used them to take down large animals like mammoths and bison. Despite their name, saber-toothed tigers weren't actually tigers. They belonged to a different group of prehistoric cats. The saber-toothed tiger went extinct about 10,000 years ago. This happened for a few reasons. The Ice Age ended, and the weather became warmer, which changed their environment. Many of the large animals they hunted, like mammoths and giant bison, also disappeared. On top of that, early humans were starting to hunt and may have competed with them for food. With less prey to eat and big changes happening around them, the saber-toothed tiger couldn't survive and eventually died out. The dodo was a flightless bird that lived on the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. It was about 3 feet tall, had a large beak, and couldn't fly. The dodo went extinct in the late 1600s, and there are a few main reasons why. First, humans arrived on the island, bringing with them animals like pigs, rats, and monkeys. These animals ate dodo eggs and competed for food. The dodo didn't have natural predators before humans, so they weren't afraid of these new animals and didn't know how to protect themselves. Second, habitat destruction also played a role. As humans settled on the island, they cleared land for crops and settlements, which destroyed the dodo's natural home. Finally, the dodo's slow reproduction made it harder for the species to recover. They laid only one egg at a time, and with so many challenges, they couldn't produce enough offspring to survive. In the end, the combination of human activity, introduced animals, and habitat destruction led to the dodo's extinction. The passenger pigeon was once one of the most numerous bird species in North America. with flocks so large they could darken the sky. These pigeons were social birds that traveled in massive groups, often numbering in the millions. However, despite their numbers, passenger pigeons went extinct in the early 20th century, and there are several reasons for their extinction. The primary cause was overhunting. As European settlers expanded across North America, they hunted passenger pigeons for food, sport, and their feathers. Because the birds lived in large groups, they were easy targets, and the demand for pigeon meat led to large-scale hunting. Another major factor was habitat destruction. As settlers cleared forests for farming and development, the pigeons' natural habitat was destroyed. They relied on vast forests to nest and feed, and with less forest, their food supply and safe nesting areas vanished. Additionally, passenger pigeons had a slow reproduction rate. They needed large flocks for successful breeding, and when their numbers started to dwindle, their ability to reproduce effectively was greatly reduced. By 1914, the last known passenger pigeon, named Martha, died in captivity, marking the species' extinction. The combination of hunting, habitat loss, and the birds' inability to recover from the decline in their population led to their tragic disappearance. That's it for today's video on these incredible extinct animals. If this inspired you, share it and help others discover the wonders of our planet's past. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories of extinct animals, science, and the journey to bring them back. See you in the next one.